Ladies and gentlemen, this is OneWrestling.com, and if you don't know who I am, well, I am the Mark of the Masters, the man of the planet, Big Ray, here to stay to talk some, well, Impact Wrestling today. Impact Wrestling 11/30, 2017. And ladies and gentlemen, well, I'm going to introduce to you really quickly, well, Carl, the cameraman, first and foremost. He's here every single week, and I got to be honest with you, Carl's a little sad. And the fact of the matter is that I kind of broke it to him that, well, my time here is very short. Recording Impact Wrestling. I don't know if Carl's coming with me. I don't know what Bill's going to be doing here, but what I'm going to be doing is, you know, I've been covering Impact Wrestling here for quite some time. And again, this is Impact 11/30/2017. Carl, relax. All right, you're not losing your job. You can be working with this guy. Relax. Anyway, so let me just introduce you to my good friend. He'll be taking over Impact Wrestling here, and over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be working with him, and, you know, kind of working things out, getting the kinks out, so on and so forth, and we're going to be doing this together. So what I want you guys to do is give a warm welcome to the one, the only, on Twitter. You can follow him at Ghetto187. Of course, I'm at Big Ray Show. It's Carlos Astorga. Carlos, ¿cómo estás, amigo?
I'm doing good, man. Pleasure to be here. Very happy that I'm able to do this for OneWrestling.com. Now, I want to give a big thanks to you and to Bill Apter for letting this happen and making it possible. Been a Impact Wrestling fan since day one. I ended up doing the pay-per-views every Wednesday when they were like $9.99.
Oh.
So I'm a big fan from day one.
Do you remember your first Impact Wrestling pay-per-view event? Like watching it?
Yeah, it was... I remember the first match that I remember. I don't remember like the outcome. It was like the Flying Elvises against like Jerry Lynn and Low Key.
Right.
But other than that, I forget who else was on the show. But that's like my earliest memory that I have with Impact Wrestling.
Oh yeah, man. I remember watching it from the Asylum days. I remember even before that, NWA TNA NWA or NWA TNA, and always been a big fan. I remember I saw some pay-per-view they did, and they had it was Scott Steiner, and Nathan Jones was on his pay-per-view. This is like just after his WWF, I guess, release at the time. So I've been a fan for a very long time. Again, I started covering Impact here at OneWrestling.com. My God, I think 2010 to 2017. That's a long damn time, bro.
Yeah, there's a very long time. I do remember when Nathan Jones was on there. I remember the build-up that he had back in the day in the WWF as like an ex-convict, and then they did nothing with him. And then when I saw him on NWA TNA, I thought it was pretty cool, but then he kind of like, you know, disappeared from the wrestling scene.
He did disappear, and Nathan Jones sucked. He was horrible. A lot of people did not like working with him, just so you know that. But listen,
okay.
neither here nor there. I don't know what I did with my debit card somewhere on the floor, but I found it right now. But anyway, listen, long story short, I'm super glad to have you here. Now listen, guys, you guys don't know. You might not know, but this guy's not just a wrestling fan. He's not just a reporter here at OneWrestling.com. You know we don't just bring anybody else on. But you do have a couple of side projects and actually more of your passion, your job, more or less, and what you do for a living, what you do for fun, for a living, and also your passion. It's like everything boiled into one. You are a music producer. Is that correct? Now, I'm just introducing this gentleman because Carl is kind of like, you know, you see Carl right here, man. He's very nervous, and me and him been going back and forth for years now, you know, Carlos? And it's like every time he gets on my case now... Here's the deal. You're going to have to deal with him from here on out. And... what? Relax. He's worried about losing his job. And I keep telling him, you're going to lose your job, brother. I mean, I mean, he may even come over with me to Monday Night Raws. I don't even know, dude. But it is what it is. Carl. See, I got you in my mind, you jerk off. Anyway, listen. Carlos, so basically, why don't you quickly tell the fans a little bit about yourself, and then we'll roll into Impact.
Yeah, so a little bit about myself. I'm a West Coast G-Funk producer. I do a lot of old school West Coast rap beats. Started making beats in 2003. Started getting some kind of like notoriety back in 2006. And I've been consistently releasing album after album. I have 3 studio albums, and my 4th one, which is called Life of a G, which releases later in March 2018. And during like the intro and the outro of this video, I will be playing some snippets for those who are looking forward to that. And the official single does release December 17th this year. So it would be available through every kind of online source, Facebook Music, MySpace Music, for anyone who still has that. And then also iTunes, obviously, Google Play, anywhere you can listen to music online, I'm going to be on there.
All right. So does anyone actually still have Facebook? I mean MySpace? I didn't know that still existed.
Yeah, I still kind of get royalties online because I have this website that I use that lets me do all of my music independently on my own, and I'm able to sell it through different venues. And I'm looking at the actual pay stub and where my revenue is coming from, and there's still some people buying music from MySpace, believe it or not. So,
Really?
yeah.
God. You know, I met my ex-wife on MySpace. Not really. Like, we met in real life, but then we kind of progressed into a relationship and into, yeah. Anyway, neither here nor there. Listen, this is Impact Wrestling 11/30/2000. Yes, 11/30/2017. Listen, man, we have a whole bunch of stuff going on tonight. We're going to run through this really quickly. You know, we start the show off with a pretty decent three-woman tag team match. I mean, not a three-way match between Laurel Van Ness, Madison Rayne, and Casey Spinelli. Now, my question to you is, now, first and foremost, this is the tournament, Carlos, that's going to be crowning a new Impact Knockouts champion. Now, my question to you is, what did you think of Casey Spinelli?
Plus, she was phenomenal. I mean, she's easy on the eyes. Definitely somebody new that we haven't seen too much of, in the professional wrestling scene. And she was definitely different. She's the one that your eyes were glued to during the whole match.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She wasn't wearing like pretty colors. She was wearing black and white. And then she had like that look that, man or woman, you're going to be afraid of her if she does get you in kind of like a chokehold or anything like that. She was like one tough chick.
Yeah, it was a combination of beauty and power. And I was speaking to Ben about this on the Impact Attack. And I said, they gave Chris Jericho the whole, a lot of problems about what he said about, women and everything like that. But this is, women wrestling. And again, I'm not putting any women wrestlers down. What I'm saying is that female wrestling has always been known in the industry as a gimmick. And, part of the gimmick is selling the gimmick. And a woman that's not only amazing in the ring and strong, but beauty sells tickets. And Casey Spinelli, in my humble opinion, was not only good in the ring and she got over a character. I mean, she just looked great. She was, like you said, easy on the eyes. Now, all that being said, let me just give a quick finish of the match. We have Laurel Van Ness, who, believe it or not, this crazy drunk, she's in the ring and she delivers the electric chair, Casey Spinelli delivers an electric chair onto, she had Laurel Van Ness on her shoulders and dropped her back on Madison Rayne. That was a great spot. But Laurel Van Ness is able to hit the Pretty on Spinelli to get the 1-2-3. Now, Madison Rayne, apparently she was in the WWE training facility at NXT, and then all of a sudden she's back on Impact. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, it was kind of discouraging because I had read reports that she had left and that, she was done, and then we see her back on TV. So I'm wondering if it was like fake news pretty much, or if she's really back. Isn't she married to Josh Matthews?
She is married to the one and only Mr. Josh Matthews. No, I heard she was at WWE. I didn't hear anything bad about her. I don't know why she's back at Impact, to be honest with you. Maybe the WWE schedule didn't work out for her, and maybe Josh is like, look, I'm just assuming this is just like kind of fodder. The way husband and wife speak. You were married, I was married. I got many beautiful women in my life. But anyway, all jokes aside, I'm not joking. You can hit me at Big Ray Show on Twitter. Anyway, but in all seriousness, maybe he sat down with his wife and said, listen, hon, stay here, work at Impact. I got this. The schedule's going to be crazy. We're never going to see each other. You don't know. We don't know why she didn't stay in WWE, because she's great in the ring, got a ton of character, and she's over. And not only that, but she's got everything. She's a total package, much like Laurel Van Ness. Now, some breaking news.
Oh, yeah, what's that?
Apparently, Laurel Van Ness, even though she won this, has requested her release from Impact Wrestling. Your thoughts?
This is news to me. I had no idea. And when was this being reported?
About an hour ago.
An hour ago. Wow.
Yep. While me and Ben were doing the Impact Attack, Ben got the stooge report. So an actual stooge walked into the room, gave him a piece of paper. It was like one of those fold-out papers, a scroll. Ben read it, then burned it, and yeah. So apparently she is looking to get her. Wouldn't it be funny if she wins the Impact Knockouts title, because all this stuff is pre-taped and then she's gone?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, they were gonna put the strap on Loki, and then he dipped because it didn't work out, and then they did the whole build up with Alberto El Patron, and then that whole thing that happened back in July, and then they had to like relinquish the title from him. So they always put the title on the wrong people. You know what I'm saying? So
Well,
it's the old habit they just still haven't broken yet.
Carlos, this goes all the way back to AJ Styles, if you think about it,
Yeah.
buddy. AJ Styles left the company with the Impact Wrestling or the TNA title at the time, but neither here nor there. Laurel Van Ness, she advances and she goes on to face the winner of I forget who's in the other match, but I know it definitely Rosemary. Do you know who the other two are over there on the other side? No, right? Off the top of your
No,
head, that's fine.
I know it was Sienna,
Mhm.
Rosemary, and the other chick. I can't remember.
We got Hakeem Zayn, the winner of the Global Forge gimmick, versus Taiji Ishimori. Listen, this is a very fast-paced match, and we have Zayn with a little bit of a whole bunch of good offense. The guy looked really crisp and good, in my opinion. Now, here's the thing: we have Taiji Ishimori who drops Hakeem on his knees with the lung buster, then goes to the top and hits the 450 splash for the win. This is my problem. If you have the guy win that whole gimmick thing, the whole Global Forge gimmick, then why are you going to bury him on TV in his first ever match, Carlos?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me at all. You know, it was a good match, very high paced, but it does not make sense again to bury your guy that won that whole tournament. And you know, people can say, well, they got to make the people from other promotions look good too, but they also have to, you know, put in some work. It just can't be the people from the other promotions get the upper hand. You got to build your own stars. You can't really build new stars if from the get-go you're already having them lose a match. And I disagree with the results that happened with that match, and it should have been to the new homegrown talent that they're trying to produce.
Not only that, but it's a very forgettable debut because then after the match, you totally forget that this kid Hakeem Zayn was in the match because Taiji Ishimori gets attacked by the cult of what is it? The cult of personality? What the hell are these guys? Cult of colony? Is that what the hell? What are they called, man?
I don't know the official name. I don't think they
The Cult of Lee. There you
Cult
go.
of Lee. Yeah. There you go. Trevor Lee and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just really turned me off. Anyway, you have a backstage segment with Cowboy James Stormer. Sorry about your damn luck. He's super hype back there. He's talking about he's the number one cowboy. Then we move on. We have now. Listen. Now. You are from the mean streets of California. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. LAX is in the clubhouse. Have you been in one of these clubhouses before? Be honest.
I have.
Okay. With all that being said, they were saying some very horrible things, and it looks like they are looking to absolutely tear apart Sammy Callahan. Why don't you break down what happened here, and why don't you tell us your thoughts on this little segment?
Yeah, I mean it was a good segment. I'm always a big fan when that happens when LAX is in the scene. You know, they're in the back with their boys, and then obviously one of the big targets is OVE, Sammy Callahan. They want to get the tag team titles back, and it just, to me, screams that this is like the direction that all of their backstage segments should be filmed in, that kind of style.
Right.
If anyone that watches like Lucha Underground, I like that backstage presence because it almost looks like a mini movie. And remember, this is a television show first and foremost, and a wrestling show second. So they gotta kind of put in between the two, you know. It has to be a mixture of the two, but it definitely got the point across with the message that they're gonna go with, you know, attacking OVE and Sammy Callahan. So I'm definitely a big fan of this progressing, and I'm interested to see what's gonna happen afterwards.
Well, speaking of Sammy Callahan, we have Sammy Callahan. He's fighting over in Seattle. They fly over from Canada to Seattle to Defy Wrestling, where he faced a gentleman by the name of Randy Myers. And you know, this was, in my opinion, it was a solid match. I didn't know who the hell this guy was, this Randy Myers guy, but I think he did well. He got over with character, but he took a hell of a big clothesline, a huge lariat by Sammy Callahan for the 1-2-3. Again, your thoughts on this match and them going to these smaller arenas, and I don't like it much because I think it looks unprofessional. You know, going from a well-lit, you know, venue into but even though I think that crowd was a little bigger than the one at Impact Wrestling. Your thoughts? I'm sorry.
No, I kind of do like that they're branching off into other, you know, smaller territories. they are trying to build that Global Wrestling Network app into something worth your money. So when they're doing other shows with like Defy Wrestling out there in Seattle, they're just trying to expand. And then I'm also assuming the reason why they're doing this is so they can have a talent exchange. You know, our guys appear in your shows, and your guys appear in our shows. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. And I agree with you. I don't like that they're changing the environment. Why not send another camera crew from Impact to one of those shows? Because if you look at it in that aspect, the video qualities did not match. Of course, it did a voiceover, you know, out there wherever they do those recording sessions at, recording sessions at in the studio. But the one thing I did like about the whole thing with Defy Wrestling, the crowd was very into the match. And then you go back to them in Canada, and they're not into the rest of the matches. So that does throw things off a bit.
It really does. It really does. It's a little confusing. Can you imagine? Yeah. Can you imagine somebody is watching this for the very first time, and they see the Impact, you know, whether it's small or not, shot professionally, and then they're like, "Why is there a basketball hoop in that wrestling arena?" You know what I'm saying? It's like, anyway, it's what it is, man. Dude, we have Alberto El Patron. He's being interviewed backstage, calling Johnny Impact a little kid, which is absolute bull crap. Johnny Impact is one of the most awesome in-ring workers. The only little kid there, in my opinion, is El Patron. But do you have any thoughts on this segment, real quick?
Yeah, I did like that they plugged in their past history where they had matches, you know, with in AAA and Lucha Underground, and then like going back to when they've had like previous scraps between each other, and it's making it feel like a big, you know, one-on-one match. Like, is this going to be the final one-on-one match that we're going to see between these two? Obviously not. I don't think so. I think they are going to lead to something bigger, but we have yet to see what that would be.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. And well, man, I don't know. I don't like when you have a guy, you know, just bury. I mean, there's a difference between. I guess he's playing the heel. He's trying to. I don't know. He's just playing Mr. Cool just because he says the word trasero. You know, he thinks he's over. I don't know, man. Again, I'm not trying to bury the guy, but not a big fan of Alberto El Patron. And I just think that, you know, with the money that you're spending on this guy, you can get 3 great indie talents and kind of roll with that. I mean, anyway, but KM is trying to impress. KM backstage trying to impress American Top Team, just beating the hell out of a couple of jobbers back there, a couple of enhancement talents. But what I did notice is that American Top Team didn't give a damn. I almost cursed. Didn't really give a damn. What is the end game with KM?
With KM, I mean, you could put it in different categories. I feel like he is gonna be one of the top stars. He's right now. Yeah, I think he's stuck between like a tweener. We don't know if he's gonna be another funny guy or if he's gonna be another badass. But I'm interested to see where they progress with KM, and it's only time can tell, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of a guy that's actually not funny, is Cowboy James Storm, and another guy that's not funny is Tejano. I've become not a fan of Tejano, but the guy's solid, and the guy is definitely a main eventer. Do you know anything about the Tejano coming into this before you know, he came to Impact Wrestling? Were you a fan of his, or?
Well, the only time I knew about him before this was when he was in Lucha Underground as, you know, Tejano Jr. I've heard that he's been like very difficult to work in the past when he's been like over here out in like different indie shows in the United States. Other than that, I didn't know too much about him, but I was a big fan of this match. Very solid match. It was almost pay-per-view quality, if I can say that. So it was definitely a good match for what it was worth.
Well, you know, you have Tejano who hits Cowboy James Storm with a super kick, and then he decides, instead of pinning the guy, he decides to grab Cowboy's hat to, you know, kind of mock him, and then he gets the last call super kick right in the face, and then he gets pinned for the 1, 2, 3. But why don't you break down what happened after the match, because this is where the fun begins.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like that we got like a little spoiler alert before the match was going on, where they showed like America's Top Team and Bobby Lashley coming into to the ring, and then after the fact that he got super kicked by James Storm for the 1, 2, 3, out comes America's Top Team, and what ended up happening was a brawl for all, pretty much, and it ended up being Cowboy James Storm coming out and destroying these guys with a super kick, and it was pretty much expected because they already ruined it. They pulled the trigger too soon, so I wasn't really happy about that.
Well, I mean, you're leaving out one of the most important things. You have John Hartnett, one of the American top team, who comes in the ring. This kid with the neck brace. He's been in there every single ring. He wants a piece of the Cowboy by himself. He ends up getting super kicked, and then on top of that, then they get jumped, and then you totally forgot, that we had Mr. What's his name? What's his face? Moose comes out and saves the day with a freaking steel chair. So, American Top Team has been the most entertaining thing. Now, here's the weird part. Next week, we're gonna have Dan Lambert and Lashley with American Top Team against Moose and freaking Cowboy. This makes no sense. Like why is Dan Lambert putting himself in this match? He could have chose any one of those killers.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I mean, he's a good talker and everything, but apart from that, he has nothing else to contribute to the actual storyline. I think it's just kind of being redundant. It should have been over with for Bound for Glory, and then it's just another way to prolong the storyline where it should have ended there.
Check this out, man. You know what I did last night?
What's up?
I called 615-492-4883. That is the law offices of Park and Park. And guess what? There was an actual voicemail. There was an actual voicemail. Did you call it?
I did.
I called it with Ben today, and what happened was that phone line is disconnected now.
Is it?
But I had a friend stooge off the audio, so I had the audio of what it was to call, so you'll hear it on the Impact Attack there. But I thought that was pretty funny. I like the old 80s gimmick, the old 80s commercial type gimmick. And what do you know of Chandler Park, a.k.a. Ethan Page?
I actually know a lot about Ethan Page because the one indie promotion that's out here is called AEW. And I've been knowing about him for over 2 years now. I actually have a picture of him with my nephew. For those who want to look it up, if you look up my Instagram, Ghetto187G-Funk, I'll show you guys the picture, but it's there. He's a cool guy. Him and the whole thing with Joseph Park becoming law partners. I love the idea of it. The concept of it is funny. The old retro look. Mm-hmm. Everything's awesome. And I did call the phone number too just to see if it was a legit number. And they also have their own website, which is pretty funny too. That they're trying to make it a legit thing. And I'm interested to see what else is gonna happen between these two.
Yeah, man.
But as you know, Ethan Page has said that he's still the hottest free agent because he has not signed an actual contract with Impact. He's just appearing for this. We don't know how long he's going to be there either.
We don't know how long anybody's freaking an Impact, to be honest with you. That's the sad thing. Yeah. Anyway, we go back in the day. Where I think this hurts. This hurts. They show Kurt Angle versus Samoa Joe in a packed TNA arena with the fans going crazy, and it was just an awesome match. And you just make your product look like crap. Now, to be honest with you, I know you're trying to put over the past in the GWN network, which I bought, and I got rid of it right away because, again, I can't stream any pay-per-views on it, and I can't watch anything live. So what the hell do I want to have that app for? I'm sorry.
Yeah. I've downloaded the app, too. I got a PS4, and they do have, that Pluto channel, mm-hmm. which is 24 hours, Impact, mm-hmm. which is awesome, too. But I do got to agree with you when they have, the past just kind of showing you how much better Impact Wrestling was with the environment of the crowd and the quality. And then you also had two people, no disrespect to Josh Matthews and JB, but when it was, who was it, Taz and Mike Tenay calling the shots, or even Don West, yeah, it was so much better.
Oh, absolutely.
It made it feel like a legit product to watch.
Absolutely. And, dude, they had a midget pull a gun out on somebody in the ring. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that.
I'm sorry, little person. Little person, sorry. Listen, we have Matt Sydal versus Tyson Dukes. I'm going to run through this really quickly. Matt Sydal, listen, it was a good back and forth match. Tyson Dukes is a stud, but we have a shooting star press. Well, you know, the face of the first shooting star press for the 1, 2, 3, and you have Ethan Carter III sitting down the entire match, saying, you know, putting over the fact that Matt Sydal is amazing, but he doesn't have that killer instinct. Your thoughts of this match before we go to the main event, my friend?
Obviously, it's a good match. Any match that Matt Sydal is in, my eyes are going to be glued to the screen. You know, he does his normal flippy stuff. But, you know, with him and Tyson Dukes, you know, it's one of those things that they do have similar styles. But obviously, the better man in the match is Matt Sydal. And then I did like that it's going to continue on with the story progressing between EC3 and Matt Sydal. And I feel like Matt Sydal is going to win the actual Impact Grand Championship off of him too. So I'm looking forward to that.
All right, cool. I agree
That's
with that.
what it looks like it's going to happen. So
yeah, I think it's going to happen as well. Matt Sydal, I want to see him with a title. I think the only thing is that you know, and Ben was telling me, he's stooging off, as he says, that Matt Sydal is everything you see on TV. A super nice namaste freaking yogi that's just always smiling and very happy and just like super sweet. And I told Ben I want to see a very dark side of him, aka if you're a fan of The Simpsons, when Ned Flanders lost it and he became like a jerk off, I want to see that happen. I want to see Matt Sydal turn into Ned Flanders, but worse. I don't know if it's possible. Maybe a dark side. I think everybody who's that nice has a really dark side. I mean, you on board with me here?
yeah, definitely, I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Always two sides to people.
I mean, you've sat in a couple of those. You know, you ever been down to Compton?
Yeah, I went to Compton High School, so I'm from Los Angeles originally, but I went to Compton. I mean, during the day, if you look at it now, based off what you see there, they got Starbucks, they got all of these shopping centers, but at night is a whole nother environment.
No,
you don't even want to be out there past 7 p.m.
It's like Brooklyn.
Most areas.
It's like the East Side in Brooklyn. It's like, oh yeah, everything's good. Yeah, once nighttime falls, you don't want to be down there on
Different beats. Yeah.
You don't want to be on Ralph Avenue. And now you live in Chicago, which is, I mean, it's another big city which has pretty rough parts as well.
Yeah, Chirac.
Yeah, man, that's what Ben calls it. All right, we're going to go to the main event of the evening. We're going to run through this really quickly. And, I mean, again, you know, it was a solid match. I mean, look, you may not like Alberto. I mean, I might not. I don't like Alberto Del Rio or El Patron as much. But Johnny Impact is just phenomenal. The guy was parkouring it all freaking night, just doing some really, really cool stuff as we move forward. Now, we have Johnny Impact, who's going for, I guess he was going for that finisher elbow when El Patron kind of pulls the referee in the way, which was pretty funny because what happened there? He pulled the referee in the way, right? And then and then he goes to check on the referee. The referee disqualify him? No. We have Eli Drake that comes out, right? Makes his way to the ring. Then we have El Patron delivers a right hand to the champ, then hits him with the championship belt. Then this gives him time. This allows Johnny Impact, time to sit up the Tree of Woe. He pulls Patron into the ring, hits the Starship Pain for the win. Now, after the match, you have Eli Drake now nailing the champ with the title. It's going back and forth. It's all crazy. And then all of a sudden, you have P.D. Williams show up, hit the Canadian Destroyer and the champ. I think this is all setting up a fatal four-way for next week for the Impact World Championship. Do you think P.D. Williams wins it? Do you think any of these guys gets the title? Or does Eli Drake, dummy, does he win? Does he hold on?
I mean, as much as I would love to see the title change hand, they're not going to give up the strap yet. With Eli Drake, I'm
sorry. What? Who?
Eli Drake.
No. I'm sorry. Who?
Eli Drake, dummy.
God.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to work on that, Carl, when you're with him. Good. I'm sorry.
No, but for real, yeah. I feel like as much as I would like to see a new person holding the title, I definitely want Eli Drake to show that he is the champion and that this championship win of his was not a fluke and that he has more to offer. With them still being in Canada for the remaining of the tapings, I think they are going to try to make it seem like P.D. Williams is going to win eventually, but I don't think they're going to do that just yet. It would be awesome for the crowd over there, but I just don't see Impact going in that direction. But, you know, I was definitely surprised because I thought it was just going to be another one-on-one match between the two, and that was it. But they hit us with a lot of different swerves. But it was definitely one of the most entertaining matches of the night.
This is what Impact does. They come at you from all different directions. Oh my God. I don't know. Like it's like playing Russian roulette. You know, you have
Yeah.
that one bullet, you spin the freaking chamber, and you hope that you don't get shot in the head. You hope it's going to be a good show. Last week was horrible. The Turkey Bowl was last week. Yeah, last week was horrible. This
Yeah.
week was eh. Maybe next week's going to be a 4 out of 5 or a 5 out of 5. Who knows? Or next week could be it's another Turkey Bowl. I don't know, dude. But all I know is this. I need you to put over your social media information. Let the fans know where they can find you, and welcome Carlos to the family here at OneWrestling.com.
Again, I want to say thank you to you, Big Ray, for you giving me this opportunity, and also Bill Apter to giving me this opportunity to cover Impact Wrestling weekly. And I will not disappoint. Trust me, I got a lot of plans in store. But for people who want to look for me in different ways, you can search for me on Google at Ghetto187, Twitter at Ghetto187. I do have my own website, Ghetto187.com. Instagram is Ghetto187GFunk. And then don't forget that my album single will be releasing December 17th, 2017. And it would be to all online digital sources worldwide.
Nice. Oh, all right. I lost you there for a minute, but I think you said worldwide. Is that correct?
Yes, worldwide. It's going to be a worldwide release.
Well, for you enhancement talents that have been following me here at OneWrestling.com, you know where to find me. Guys, you can follow me on Twitter at, and then they find you on Twitter at Getaway187, right?
Yes, correct.
On Instagram at Ghetto187GFunk?
Correct.
You know how I noticed that off the top of my head? Maybe I follow you or something like that. Maybe you guys should do that too. Listen, guys, look, here's the deal. Give me a follow at Big Ray Show on Twitter. I'll be doing a whole bunch of stuff over at Hameen Media. What is the Hameen Media discussion group? I always forget the damn name of it. But of course, guys, do not forget to check out OneWrestling.com, YouTube /OneWrestling video. Subscribe. Hit that little like button there. That little the little bell right there. It tells you when we have videos coming up. And there's gonna be a whole bunch of videos. Bill Apter interviews like the top. Give them a follow. The top wrestlers in the world and the top superstars and legends, so on and so forth. I mean, everybody stops and talks to Uncle Bill. Do me a favor, guys. Subscribe. Hit that little bell right there. It's going to let you know when the videos are here. And look, I always say I would do this for a living, but if I couldn't, I'd do it anyway. Why? Because I love talking wrestling. Carlos, we're going to have to get you like some kind of sign-off gimmick that you say when you leave. And Carl, the cameraman, seems to be, he seems to like you and stuff like that. What? He's married. What? I thought you were married too. Anyway, Carlos, I don't know what the hell this guy's going for, but listen, dude, I got to get the hell out of here. Carlos, thank you for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here at OneWrestling.com. And me and Carlos will be back next week here at, I just said it, OneWrestling.com. Do you feel uncomfortable with Carl hitting on you?
It's all good, man. It's one
Really?
love.
I think you got a shot, buddy. Later, guys.